Worried about managing user permissions on Connect HR? As a super user on Connect HR, managing user permissions is a breeze. Assign, update, and customize access levels in just a few clicks. We make it easy. Simple HR solutions for the everyday company. Start your 90-day free trial now. Hello everyone, it's your favorite host Babi Mawela, and we are back with another banging episode on Connect HR Hangouts. Today we are focusing on talent management and acquisition, and before I introduce our host, we've got some house rules for our channel essentially. You need to like, subscribe, comment, share. You know, you have to do everything that we require you to do to keep these nice episodes rolling, right? Okay. Yeah. Also, please follow our social media pages on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Also, if you want to get in touch with me concerning Connect HR, the Connect HR software rather, you're welcome to contact me on babalo@connecthr.co.za. Hi, Rosie.
Hi, Babi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. This is our host for today, ladies and gentlemen, Rose Choeu. I don't want to do the introduction on your behalf. I'm going to let you shine. Because you deserve to shine.
Thank you. Before I even intro myself,
Yes.
I just want to tell you that I'm proud of you.
Oh, my word.
Hi. My name is Rose Choeu. I am from Influencer Sister, Talent and Social Management. Mm-hmm. It's me. I am the Influencer Sister, and I do social media management as well as influencer marketing management and talent management.
Did you hear the voice? I thought I had a nice voice until I met Rosie.
Oh.
Listen. Thank you, Rosie. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. I hope you enjoy the episode.
I know I will.
Okay. Okay, Rosie. We're going to start with our first question, and we're just going to roll with it.
Let's go.
Okay. Can you tell us a bit about your background and experience in talent management and acquisition?
So my talent management experience really started in the days of me working at ETV.
Okay.
So I used to work at ETV as a marketing and publicity assistant. And whenever we would go on road shows or we would have shows, I would be in charge of talent management, which at the time was just requiring me to make sure that the talent that we are traveling with is taken care of, they are where they need to be. And that's really where my love for talent management kind of grew.
Okay.
Fast forward to today, where I am now acquiring my own talent for my own agency. It's been quite a ride, a very fruitful one as well. And I think a very big lesson that I have learned in acquiring talent is to make sure that the person or the talent that you are acquiring is indeed aligned to your brand. So you'll find all the talent that I manage is actually quite aligned with me as a person and actually the Influencer Sister brand and how it's come about.
Yeah. Well, we are proud of you.
Thank you.
Influencer Sister's doing well.
Thank you.
I follow you.
I know you do. I follow you too.
It's really good to hear. And we know each other, right? Mm-hmm. And I've seen you transition from an employee to an employer. Mm-hmm. What are the challenges there?
It's been quite a journey there as well.
Yeah.
I'm going to use the word journey so many times just because it continues to be a journey. Transitioning from employer to employee was very scary. At first, I know everybody can attest. Whoever has started a business knows that, the first couple of months and even the first year of starting a business is actually quite scary. So I think the challenge is it's really more of a mindset. That's the challenge, where you have to now start thinking different, start behaving different, start to react to things differently, because you are the one that's now in charge.
Yes.
People are now asking you for leave, and it's weird. And now, sometimes when you can't get a hold of a person, you're thinking, do I let it go? No, you don't let it go, because you need to know where everybody is.
Yeah.
So I think it's a mindset more than anything that has really been challenging. And obviously continuing to just find ways to train yourself in getting better in the management side.
Yeah.
Because you're running a business and you start to actually realize what it all means, and maybe the bosses were a little bit correct, but but for the most part, I think it's just the challenge has really just been striking that balance to make sure that you remind yourself constantly that you are running a business and that you do have to manage things that come in and out, where everybody is, where you are, and hold yourself accountable as well.
I like that. I like that a lot. I think everyone has that fear.
Yeah.
The job is comfortable.
Yeah.
Right? So we commend you for taking the leap of faith, essentially.
Thank you.
So you've touched on the fact that your brand, your business includes influencer marketing, right?
Right.
That space is misunderstood, in my opinion.
Very much so.
Right? And I want to hear from you because we all have opinions, right? And our viewers, you'll find that you have business owners, you have individuals sitting at home that feel like, I don't want to do this because what is this? So what are the misconceptions about influencer marketing? And is there, or are there rather, real employment opportunities there?
So the biggest misconception with influencer marketing, first of all, with influencers is that there are people that don't think, people that take nice pictures, people that have comfortable jobs, people that have nothing else to do, or people that, just have fancy cameras. Not true. Influencers are actually a huge part of what I do. Without influencers, I don't have clients.
Yeah.
I don't have brands that I can communicate with and grow. So there is a very big misconception that is understood about the influencer marketing space. And it's actually been quite a huge space. I mean, the origination of influencer marketing, if you think about it, is word of mouth, which is probably the biggest marketing tool that there is. And so they really... The growth of influencer marketing has actually been quite big, and we as in the influencer marketing space were the fortunate ones when COVID hit. That's really where now
people
all the budget,
didn't know that.
Do you understand? So now everybody goes, most of the budget now goes into the digital space, and obviously influencer marketing got the opportunity. Not that it wasn't around, it really, really was.
It was, yeah.
So now there are major employment opportunities within that space, because now, people aren't just taking content with just their phones anymore. You need videographers.
Yes.
People are not doing their own makeup. They need makeup artists. People are not doing their own editing. You need editors. So the influencer marketing space as a whole, from running a campaign from start to finish involves more than just saying, hey, do you want to do one Instagram post? It's a huge thing. You start off with strategies because you need a strategist. So there are plenty of employment opportunities.
100%. Let's unpack it a little bit more, right? So I think the other misconception is, okay, so I'm an influencer. I don't have a contract. I don't have a pay slip. How does that work? How does that work for someone that is unemployed at home, who has the talent of potentially becoming the most influential person ever? What is your advice to that person? What in your experience, do they have contracts? Do they get pay slips? Or what is the deal around that?
So the biggest thing that I always advise to up-and-coming influencers is to get management, believe it or not, because some brands will take advantage because, they think that, the person either doesn't know full, there's no full disclosure of the contract, the budgets and things like that. But when you have a manager, that person can then negotiate for you. That person can be your employer from time to time, even if you're going to get one pay slip per campaign or a contract, because that can help you going forward if you're trying to put the work on your CV or if you're trying to acquire, sort of credits like buying a house or buying a car. So when you need things like pay slips and that.
Yes.
If you have a management company, you are able to do that, because we do that as well for our influencers.
Yeah.
If they do need, even if it's not the influencers that are directly represented by Influencer Sister, but if they are under a contract that we are currently managing, we do provide them with sort of pay slips and contracts for them to be able to kind of function, because the HR aspect of it is really, really very much overlooked when it comes to the influencer space.
I really agree. I really, really agree.
Yeah.
Also, if you want more information about this, follow Influencer Sister on Instagram. This is a short ad for you.
Love it.
We're not charging.
I'll take it.
Okay.
The check is in the mail.
And how do you best define talent acquisition? This is in your own words.
Yeah.
And why are the steps that come with it, why are they important to you and your industry?
Like I mentioned earlier, a big thing for me is to make sure that the talent or whoever I'm trying to work with is aligned to my brand.
Yeah.
Because the last thing, these people are not going to represent you. Whether it's in a small capacity, once they say they're from Influencer Sister or they got the contract via Influencer Sister or they spoke to Rose, once your name is being mentioned, your reputation is there.
Yeah.
So you have to make sure that the people that you are dealing with are aligned to your brand. So for me personally, I always pick people that are, one, not money chasers. I don't represent influencers that are money chasers. I really represent people that are for a purpose, that are more than just trying to acquire fame.
Yeah.
The influencers that I represent are actually people that are well established in the industry, in the media industry, just maybe not in the influencer space. And that's been quite a huge achievement for me to see them kind of blossom, because a lot of them were nervous about Instagram and nervous about what to do and TikTok and what to say and things like that. But it's been quite interesting to see them. So I realized that they're aligned to me in that I'm growing and they are growing as well. In as much as, they are there to harvest my, growth in being a talent manager, and I'm doing the same for them in the influencer capacity. So I think it's very important to make sure that you align yourself with people that are aligned to your brand and that you are fully comfortable that they will represent your brand correctly.
Yeah.
That even if there is a brand crisis, because there'll always be a brand crisis, a reputation crisis, so that is. But you want to make sure that whoever that person is, you are even comfortable in representing them even still.
Okay, so how you answered that question gave birth to this question.
The next one.
Nah. So I want to know, let's say I'm Babi. I'm managed by Influencer Sister. I kill it, right? And I become this influential person that you intend, and you intend on me becoming, right?
Right.
And does that give birth to opportunities in working in a corporate space, in the marketing? So let's say I'm an influencer, and by virtue of being that or working for a brand, is there opportunities for me being permanently employed by the brand?
By that brand?
Yes.
Yes and no.
Okay.
Because remember that being an influencer or even a content creator, if anybody wants a different term for it, you are representing the brand sometimes on an external sort of platform, because if you're doing campaign by campaign, represent a certain beverage. But I work with another agency that works with the beverage.
Got you.
So now I contract you as Babi to represent that beverage. It doesn't mean that the people that are sitting at the office of the beverage that they know who you are.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
So it always does depend, but that's why I said it's not a no. Because then you are able to put it together in a portfolio to say, I've been with the brand for so long, and this is how I see myself fitting into the actual brand behind the scenes. Beyond being just an influencer or an ambassador on social media. So there is an opportunity like that. Also, I never tell people to not shoot their shot. I believe it's very, very important to shoot your shot, because you never know. Maybe I won't know it as your manager, but you might see an opportunity way different in the corporate side of said brand that you are dealing with, and shoot your shot.
So it's essentially thinking outside the box.
Definitely.
And shooting your shot.
Definitely. Yeah.
Okay.
But also But the reason why I started off with the no is because it's not a guarantee. Because like I said, is that
we need to be realistic.
Right. Because they might not even know who you are, one. And then, the campaign might be so small that it doesn't really make an impact and whatever. So, but work hard enough. Also, don't relax on saying you've done 10 campaigns for them. But on a corporate side, you also need to kind of show up. So if you're saying you want to be a business development manager, you must have business development experience. You understand? So don't go in and be like, oh, I did 2 Instagram reels for you that did 10,000 views. That means nothing to them sometimes. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for that. That's very insightful. I think we don't talk about this enough.
Nah.
People are not asking the right questions, and it's to their downfall.
For sure.
So I really love and appreciate this, right?
And as you said that, it's not just people, but even brands and companies are not asking, enough.
The right questions.
Maybe some of them do know about influencer marketing, but not everybody is as skilled in it.
Okay, let's touch on the HR part, because we are Connect HR. So essentially, we have a software. It manages leave, payroll, document control. I feel that for a business, that is extremely important.
Yep.
Confidentiality,
Yep.
control, order. That's what we stand for, right?
Yeah.
In your opinion, right, is a system like HR, Connect HR, relevant in an operation like Influencer Sister?
Child, I'm signing up myself because I definitely believe that, as I mentioned earlier about, people asking leave. I'm like, what do I do? Do I put it in Excel? Where do I write it in my notes somewhere? I definitely believe that systems are key, especially when you are a small agency and you're working remotely with most of your team sort of everywhere. You as the either the employer or the manager or the talent, acquisition person that's responsible for that. I believe that systems and order are key to try and keep everything in one space. And, you don't want to be downloading templates of pay slips and now it's green today, it's gray tomorrow. You understand?
Yes.
That's not a good look. Also, you also want to show up and you want to be able to look back at the end of the year. How did you do? Where can you grow? How can and I believe that a system that kind of keeps that information there for you and assists in your growth is definitely a huge part. So, and I'm not just saying that. I'm for real. I got emails to prove it. But I do believe that that system is definitely key.
Yeah, because I can imagine you're dealing with brands. You're dealing with contracts that can't be out in the open.
Definitely.
You're dealing with people who do not want their business to be known by the public.
For sure.
So Connect HR luckily protects brands in that way, where it's controlled and there's no risk that the confidentiality is at stake.
Definitely.
So I love that. And lastly, by the way, I can listen to you
lastly
all day.
Already,
I'm just drowsy and, in a good way, because it's that voice. Okay?
Checks in the mail.
Lastly, do you feel that HR processes are followed adequately in the media space?
Do you know what? I think there's a huge opportunity for HR processes to be more followed, if that's even a word, forgive the English. But, people in the media industry have been very, very unprotected for a very long time because you just get called in, hey, can you come and quickly do this one thing? And you quickly go to do this one thing and then they pay you 80% of what they said. And then they say the other money, you'll get it and whatever. So if you think about it, if before there was a whole process of contracts, understanding what the brand is about, how long you are in relationship with that, because sometimes people don't even understand. You call them to an event and then they do one picture, and depending on the next product or campaign or brand, if they see that page on there, they might not want to collaborate with you until a certain time. So there's so many things that you need to do before, or so many processes that could be implemented to kind of protect you beforehand. That's why I said, you start off getting a manager, but even with that manager, that person needs a system that is also going to protect the company, and also protect the influencer, and also protect the brand. Everybody needs protection. So the processes are there not to try and micromanage people, not to try and control people's freedom of expressions and things like that, but HR processes need to just grow within the media space. Honestly, I think that it's kind of getting better now, but there are a few people out there, content creators, for example, that don't know about or that don't read their contracts properly, or they just take jobs and just do favors, you know, for example, and that kind of stuff. And people take advantage of that. You know, if I call you tomorrow and I say, because I've seen you now host, and I'm like, just do 4 episodes for me. No, I can't. Where's the contract? Cut the check. You know what I mean? So I think processes are very, very important, and there is a much bigger opportunity for them to be followed. But I think that when you start to have systems that are developed, you know, kind of like Connect HR, that are going to be there to just assist with those processes, because then it minimizes the work, you know, of trying to get that one to do the contracts. The pay slips are coming from there. The procurement is coming from there. You know what I mean? And have it kind of centralized. So I think that there's a big opportunity for media to have better HR processes handling in the industry.
Well, that is Rosie with some insightful and informative information. Like I love that. I think we think we know everything. Yeah. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, I'm a bit clueless. So I don't take our conversation for granted.
Right back at you. Right back at you. I did not think that I would be doing a talk, you know, around HR processes until obviously transitioning from employee to employer. Now I'm like, oh, I need an HR department because they need somewhere to complain. They need somewhere to, you know what I mean? Somewhere to even give a compliment. So, yeah.
And speaking of that, Connect HR does have a compliance hub. In the instance where you don't have an advisory person internally, if you need to protect yourself as an employer and as an employee, it's available in one centralized system. Contact me, call me. We've reached the end of our episode, and I keep promises. So we had a competition.
Okay.
We finally had 100 subscribers.
Bang, 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 bang.
Boo, 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 boo. And we encouraged our people to get us there.
Love it.
And there was this one person that stood out, and they bent backwards, basically. So our winner will receive an exclusive books voucher.
Whoa.
That is at the value of 600 Rand. We said 300, but they outshined. They worked hard. So congratulations to Patricia Mukhotsi.
Love it.
We will be sending you your voucher. Stay tuned for more of our competitions. You don't know. It might be you next time. Please, I urge you to please stay tuned. The topics vary weekly. You don't know where your next employment opportunity is. You don't know where your next HR advice is coming from. Stay tuned, subscribe, like, comment, share. You know. Rosie, thank you for driving all this way.
Thank you, Baby.
And it's your sizzling host, Babi Mawela.